Hello and welcome to Tech Trends with me, Olayemi Odunuga. On this week's show, we focus on STEM and robotics. First, we'll show you the STEM Africa Fest, which aims to expose young children to digital skills. And then, we feature the finals of the Robot Olympiad competition held in Lagos to increase students' curiosity and enthusiasm for technology and robotics. Plus, I will be talking to cybersecurity professional Akinyemi Odutola on Nigeria's standing on cybercrime operations, as well as the global tech outage that affected industries. But as always, this is the program that takes you on a ride in 25 minutes to seek out innovation and creativity that are unique to Africa.
The first rule of any technology used in a business is that automation applied to an efficient operation will magnify the efficiency. The second is that automation applied to an inefficient operation will magnify the inefficiency.
Igniting change through clean tech and STEAM. That's the focus of this year's STEM Africa Fest, which aims to kindle the flames of enthusiasm for STEAM within African youth. The fest also seeks to celebrate the curiosity and potential in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Here's more.
People are being integrated into this. I'll give you an example. When we went to
It is the fourth edition of the STEM Africa Fest, an event that has evolved from the much-loved STEAM Fun Fest to better reflect its vision as a Pan-African learning festival. This year's theme, Clean Tech and STEAM, addresses the pressing issue of climate change and global warming. The fest is a proactive response to climate injustice, aiming to educate the children in Africa about the issues and potential solutions within their communities.
What is science, technology, and engineering and maths? Is an experience that involves two or more standards and assessed in through each inquiring, collaboration, and an emphasis on process-based learning are at the heart of the STEAM approach. Africa and Nigeria's future lies in the hands of its youth. With productivity disparities evident across regions, there is a critical need to equip our children with the skills that will drive innovation and solve local challenges.
Bridge between financial guidance.
Insightful panel discussions provide an opportunity to learn about the future of STEM for the young ones, the importance of empowering girls in these fields, the potential of renewable energy and clean tech innovations, the impact of emerging technologies across industries, and the power of artificial intelligence.
When it comes to cybersecurity, how can you combat these particular issues? The first thing you have to do is to reframe your thinking capabilities. When you do something, document it in a journal and say, okay, yes, I am capable of what I did. I deserve this award. I am not less than any other gender. I am actually very efficient in my own way. I am a work in progress.
You need to be true to yourself. You know, there's a look that this stereotype, she cannot be so good because it will be these guys that will be better. I had to really decide that I was not going to change who I am to be able to sit in those rooms. And when I'm in those rooms, I will give value.
I think it's difficult for people to understand and then address those issues because there are many different reasons why. One is just kind of awareness, right? So we talk to people who say when they were younger, they just didn't know it was an option for them to become a software engineer. When they thought about what are the career options for them or what should they be doing as an adult, as a woman, even if they were thinking about working in careers, other careers came to mind. And why is that? It's partly because you mostly just see men in the field.
Yes, we have a long way to go, but we find that in our ecosystem, we have more science students than we do art students, and those science students are more interested in robotics and things to that effect because we catch them young.
One of the highlights of the fest is the STEAM Labs. Children explore hands-on activities ranging from animation, coding, and engineering to exciting science experiments like making dry ice bubbles, constructing space robots, and disassembling hardware systems. The robotics lab is particularly popular because it is where young minds can unlock their creativity through thrilling engineering projects.
I love this place. It was very fun about the science. I love the way we exploded the volcano with just vinegar and baking soda. We made a chemical reaction by mixing the acid vinegar and the alkali baking soda, which runs down like bubbles of carbon dioxide like a physical flow. I learned about aerospace and about building robots. I like to build rockets and put together Lego. So this was a lot of fun for me.
The STEM Africa Fest is designed for children, aiming to spark their interest and excitement in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, and the conveners hope they were able to do that and more.
Our goal is the same. We want to equip, we want to empower the African child with the skills they need to be problem solvers, innovators, and critical thinkers, and we are doing it through STEM education. For us, we hope that when children live here, they would aim to look for avenues that will teach them the things that we spark. For us, we're lighting a fire. So we hope that the fire is lit and they will go on to keep it burning. Both parents, both schools, both educators.
What we wanted was a one-stop center, place, event that has a variety of experiences for our children. We were very focused on experiences. And the experiences centered around science, technology, engineering, and math. We felt that a lot of these things were not being taught at schools. We felt that STEM in itself, STEM education, is really the pathway to innovation and creativity. And we also know that innovation and creativity contributes to economic development.
We believe in making things to work, in building people, in giving people the opportunity to be the very best, giving them the platform to be great. Because if you look at it from the point of job employment, these children having access to these various opportunities, these various initiatives, ability to think out of the box, they will be better in whatever they are doing.
The future of STEAM in Africa looks bright, and this fest underscores the importance of STEAM education as a crucial component of early childhood learning.
The Robot Olympiad competition is one that helps students exhibit their learnings through practical demonstration, increasing their curiosity for technology and robotics. This year's theme is Earth Allies, and various school teams through robots explore how nature and natural events can affect humans.
Creativity has obviously found its way into the classroom, with students developing technology devices that can make a task easier. The Lagos State government has constantly supported secondary schools in building their passion in the area of technology, and this time the 2024 World Robot Olympiad competition organized by the State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, has given the public and private students another opportunity to exhibit their learnings through practical demonstration, thereby increasing their curiosity for technology and robotics.
I believe that in nearest future, our next generation are prepared. They are not just prepared to provide solutions to our problems. They are prepared to take the lead, not just in Nigeria, not just in this continent, but across the world.
Lagos State Senior Model College, Mero, students of New Era Girls Junior Secondary School, Surulere, and 48 other schools represented in the competition showcased their robotic tasks.
Deployment has simplified into use of blocks. So, writing is rather than writing several codes, you have blocks that are embedded together as a code. Each of these students actually know what the task is about, and they can implement it and interpret it with their robots.
Some of the students say they now have better knowledge of robotics.
This program today has taught me a lot because life now is advancing and it's more about technology, AI especially. We've also learned how to program because our robots can't just build, there's build and then we program. So the two is together.
We started by building a base that can cover more distances in less than 2 minutes. Then we went to the arm that can pick up the trees and water elements and the flowers and put them and create parks.
The State Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education reiterates the significance of science education for school children at an early stage.
The world is all about STEM, it's about sciences, and the future is about ICT. The only thing we can give you is quality education. Education that is competitive in the global market.
And the winners of the 2024 Robot Olympiad are Lagos State Senior Model College, Mero, and students of New Era Girls Junior Secondary School, Surulere, for their technology-driven creative work, which grants them an automatic ticket to represent Nigeria at the World Robot Olympiad scheduled in Turkey in November.
Did you know the term computer bug originated from a real-life insect? The term bug to describe a glitch in a system originated when a moth caused a malfunction in an early computer. The first recorded instance of a bug causing a technical malfunction occurred in 1947. Engineers working in the Mark II Icon relay calculator, an early computer at Harvard University, found a moth lodged in the machine's hardware. This moth was causing an electrical fault disrupting the system's normal operations. Grace Hopper, a rear admiral in the US Navy and a computer scientist, is credited with popularizing the term. She was part of the team that discovered this moth. The team removed it and taped it into the computer's logbook with a note stating, "First actual case of a bug being found."
The International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol, has intensified its efforts to combat the threat of cyber fraud emanating from West Africa. Now, this crackdown, Operation Jackal 3, part of a larger global initiative which targets the criminal cybercrime groups responsible for orchestrating various forms of advanced fraud operations, ran from April the 10th to July the 3rd across 21 countries in 5 continents. And as a result, this brought about the arrest of over 300 criminals and 400 identified suspects. The infamous Nigerian-based Black Axe Gang was uncovered amongst other identified 25 criminal syndicate members. Akinyemi Odutola, a cybersecurity professional and head of network engineering at eTransact, will be discussing this, as well as the global tech outage that affected industries. Akinyemi, the Operation Jackal 3 resulted in the freezing of over 720 bank accounts and the seizure of $3 million in assets, and Nigeria appears to be in the center of such advanced fraud operations. How significant is this in the broader context of global cybercrime?
These fraud cases are not something that started in a day, but from the angle of the law enforcement, it can be seen as an achievement at that part, a significant milestone. While in the entire global outlook, it actually reflects something else, that most people are involved in crime. In terms of impact, it has gone widespread to cripple the activities of cyber criminals and to make them know that, okay, with the interborder relationship and collaborations, that law enforcement could actually track their activities down. So apart from it showing a significant achievement, it is sending a strong signal to others and also weakening their systems as they continue to cut down these activities of cyber criminals.
All right, Akinyemi, governments have had several issues with cryptocurrencies, like regulatory challenges, also, the fact that there is lack of oversight and compliance. But there's also the issue in terms of financial crime, like money laundering and terrorism financing. Information, from the reports revealed that large transfers were made to Nigerian banks and engaged in cryptocurrency transactions. So tell me, how have cryptocurrencies impacted the scale and complexity of cybercrime?
Well, cryptocurrency actually has increased the scale tremendously. And that has been because it has provided a platform for them to operate anonymously. So that platform of anonymous operations have enhanced them to do different things. And in the way it has increased the scale. That's why we could see things like ransomware. You can see money exchanging hands without any identity involved. So you have cross-border transactions and untraceable payment, things that cannot be traced, unlike the traditional systems in which there are KYCs, which so it has given law enforcement agencies like a hard time to track down such things. So they try on anonymity, and with all that, it has given rise to bigger challenges in terms of issues at the law enforcement end, and also like several other kind of crimes, such as drug trafficking, ransomware. Now you could see ransomware attack, which everything is encrypted, your data, valuable data is encrypted, and they will confidently ask for ransom.
Akinyemi, well, despite Nigeria's efforts to combat financial fraud, the country, remains on the Financial Action Task Force grey list. What more can be done to improve Nigeria's standing and combat cybercrime effectively here?
Yeah, I agree with you that Nigeria has actually implemented some things, just like the Interpol's, which Interpol results, which actually resulted in the Operation Jackal and the rest. We also have, so we know that we have actually collaborations among several cyber law enforcement agencies. However, government still needs to put in measures, strict measures that will work, measures that will attack those systems, like good legislations, things that, okay, thank God for now, we have a cybersecurity incident report center by the Nigeria Police Force. But how we need to strengthen those things and ensure that they really work. And there should be a lot of awareness. There should be awareness, and people should know that, oh, these activities are being tracked. These activities are illegal. And so in that light, they will be able to cope, and strict measures, especially, I said, it must be discouraged. It must be discouraged fully. It must be fully discouraged. And leaders and these people, offenders that are being caught, are supposed to be treated with the right amount of punishment, with the right punishment. So our legislation needs to be right. The punishment needs to be solid. And when we have a system that no one is exempted, it works better.
Let's switch gears now to the global tech outage that affected operations at airports, airlines, banks, and even media outlets. Can you explain what might have caused such a widespread outage and why it affected so many different sectors?
Okay, so according to the CEO of CrowdStrike, which is a cybersecurity company, so there was an update. There was an update to their content and an update to their content in order to keep their customers secure. So that was the reason. But actually, this backfired, and according to them, they claim that it was not it was not a bug in their code. They also acknowledged that it was not as a result of a cybersecurity attack. So it was just an update, which was in nature a content-based update. A content-based update to their security sensor, their Falcom, they have Falcom security sensor in which they had this updates pushed to everything. So as a result of that, different outages occur, leading to a blue screen of death, and it was a global situation, global outage that actually can be described as one of the greatest in recent times.
And what does this, reveal about the current state of tech resilience worldwide? And, what are the risks of having such a high dependency on technology?
I think this situation is an eye-opener. It's really an eye-opener to all, everybody, not just in the tech space right now, because the interdependencies of tech can actually affect every sector. So every organization needs to start building on resilience. They must look at how to operate when something happens. Instead of having automatic updates, sometimes it is good to also have your testing facilities to test these things before it is being applied to production system. And in addition to that, organizations should have a way of operating. We have hospitals. The impact was great because people in hospitals, imagine people that wanted to travel, couldn't travel, people that wanted to do one or two things. What about in a surgical room? What could have been the impact of those kind of things? So organization needs to build resilience and have systems that could cater for this kind of scenarios.
Well, we all know that, technology continues to advance, and surely that is not something we can just stop, at least not right now. But what we can do is balance the benefits of tech innovation with reliable backup systems. I know you've mentioned, you just spoke to that. Well, how can we really do that? How feasible is that?
Okay, so innovation, as you said, is great, and honestly, it is one of the steps by the antivirus company, by the cybersecurity company CrowdStrike, to actually stay ahead of the attackers, because he that is ahead is the person that will win. So they were trying to stay ahead of these attackers, and in that regard, in that light, it burns their fingers. But in the other side, people will look at it that, oh, are we supposed to updates? Are we going to update? Like, do people get scared of updates? Meanwhile, they were trying to do what they were supposed to do to keep them secure, actually. So devices and all these things work well with this update. So that has provided a basis for providing some measures in order to embrace innovation and still ensure that you have the right processes. So it's about putting in the right processes in terms of having different structures, different recovery systems, backups, having different recovery system backups that you can fall onto. You have to be paranoid just as you are innovating.
Looking ahead, how can we better educate the public about the potential risks associated with tech dependency and the importance of having contingency plans when dealing with technology?
Okay, basically, I think there should be awareness. That is always a starting point, because not everybody will it's not wise for everybody to learn from experiences. So you can awareness and putting together scenarios such as this to let them know that, oh, there is these dependencies and people need to plan. This reliance on technology is good. Why that is good, contingency plans need to be made in order to keep the business rolling, keep the business operations working while there is an outage.
Well, thank you so much, Akinyemi Odutola, Head of Network Engineering at eTransact. It was a pleasure having you join us on Tech Trends.
Thank you so much. Good evening.
And that's all we have for you on our lineup this week. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget, Tech Trends is here to share insights, trends, and developments happening in the tech space. And if you missed any part of the program, you can always catch up on the channel's TV YouTube account where we have all of our episodes. And I encourage you to watch, share, and like your favorite editions. For Tech Trends, I'm Olayemi Odunuga. I'll see you next time.